check everyone in and then we'll get started with the farm tour. Okay, I'm gonna So we have the roses as well because those fragrances only exist in the fresh flowers, and those flowers are only gonna grow so divine. Around on you, but keep in mind that as we add more flowers in, it will be easier to get them to stay in the place that you want it to stay. I might take this guy down a little bit just because. Jesse, or you could do it in a tube. You could cut it right here, and then this is a piece, and then put this in the water and have 2 pieces. That's probably what I would do. And get more use out of that.
Jesse, could you make the comment about cutting on the
joint? No,
the joint?
I was just about to say that.
I was like, did she not say that? That's
yeah.
a Jesseism.
Okay. Another pro tip for you all is when you're breaking apart these, if you have something that's super long, but it feels like you can get multiple use out of it. For instance, I can use this guy and this guy, and so I want to break it into 2. Cutting at the joint is the best thing to do because that's going to preserve the stem length for both of the pieces that you're working with. Just having the longest stem to work with makes life easier. So cut on a bias and cut at the joint.
So cute.
Anybody need any more pieces or pea tendrils?
I think we're good. That's so cute. Oh, I'm obsessed.
The thing that is so hard and
Yeah.
the sweet pea is you're doing great with the handle.
Thank you.
1 or 2 and that's coming in closer here so that you'll get these greens to cover.
Those same flowers on Sunday, we want one of those buckets. When you get one ready, we'll put one together for you. And truthfully, you can, if you're...
The aftermath. So cute. Good morning, friends. Welcome to the vlog. I just started my Sunday morning and I have like lots of things to share with y'all. First of all, look at these nails. Ooh, they're so cute. Yeah, I've been getting these press-on nails from Melco Nail or something like that. They pretty much designed the nails, so like they're salon grade, and so you just press them on, and I like them a lot because they last a while, and also like sometimes I want to take them off because of work and stuff, so it's really cool that I can. But regardless of that, yesterday I went to a flower farm with my friend and it was such an amazing experience. And then we got to the farm, and like once I like drove up to the farm, I was just enamored by it. You could hear the birds chirping and it was just like the best. And so they gave us a tour. They gave us a tour of the farm first, and we learned how they grow the flowers, when they plant them, and like how to get more involved in the farm. And like that's really cool because I did not know this heaven existed, and like now that I do, you best know I'll be going back for sure. I even asked the owner if she could adopt me because at some point I was like, I feel like I should be working here. After being in a creative career for like 10 years, like it's just really nice to use creativity without purpose. I will definitely be going back. But today's Sunday. I really been journaling. I've been kind of thinking about what are the things that are gonna help me feel grounded today, because yeah, like basically I've made like a work schedule, and like Sunday is like kind of my day to just be to not like think about my plans, my YouTube channel, my work or whatever. So I'm really excited for this Sunday. and I kind of like just had a little list that I made, and I said I asked myself, like, what do I need to feel grounded and safe in my body today? And I said play and joy, clean spaces, slow movement in nature, and nourishment. That's kind of the plan for today, friends. So yeah, just come along and we'll see how this Sunday turns out. Anyways, bye. So I just wanted to show you guys what we created. This is right here, the beauty. But it's just perfection, isn't it? Like, I love it so much. Mwah. All right. I love this brand. I just grabbed the new refill. Hey guys. So today was actually completely different than I thought it was gonna go. I actually decided to spend a lot of time decompressing and just like processing my emotions, because I had been feeling a lot of stress lately, and like it was starting to feel like so I don't share this a lot, but I got diagnosed with 3PD in 2023, and I've been in recovery since then. Lately it's been feeling like a lot like of the symptoms have like come back and things like that. So I just like really wanted to take some time off and really process emotions. That's what I did today. This is something that I don't really know how to vlog, because it's just one of those things that is like I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to heal my body intuitively, and like I've been to so many doctors and never received any answers, and I've been healing on my own, and so it is working. And a lot of it has just been like tears, nature, flowers, play, like joy, and lots of, you know, movement and healthy foods. Like sometimes life gets a little busy and chaotic, and I was just starting to feel like, you know, like the universe wasn't really listening. I'm a very spiritual person, and I was kind of feeling disconnected. That's what I mean. Today I was really able to sort of connect back to myself, and that pretty much looks like, to me, journaling really helps, or like talking to ChatGPT about my emotions. I do like this because I'm a very intellectual person. I'm Aquarius, so like that's pretty much like my vibe. I'm very intellectual, and so whenever I tell ChatGPT like how I'm feeling, like the reason why I ask it is because I feel like it's an unbiased source, and I just kind of like tell ChatGPT like how I'm feeling, and then how I could reframe certain things in my mind. And that really helps me sort of process emotions instead of getting stuck in a loop. So like I do two things. I definitely like use journaling and like expressing myself, and then when I'm like stuck at something, I'll like either actually go for a walk and like be in nature, or I'll use ChatGPT as a tool. And I think it's really cool because, like, you know, sometimes I get confused on how to heal my body, because I'm coming from two different cultures, right? Like the Mexican culture and the American culture, and I feel like I'm neither. And sometimes I find like here in America it's very individualistic, very like heal your mind with your thoughts and that sort of thing, and then in other cultures there's more of like heal your body with food, with community, with family and stuff like that. And so therefore I'm kind of building like my own way of healing and what works for me, and I do end up kind of like merging those two sides. Sometimes when I'm in these moments of uncertainty, I look for answers outside of me, and like I just look for signs, and then like just really when I'm able to center myself and like go back to myself, like it's like an inner knowing that everything I need is within me. But like that inner knowing only comes when I'm able to like slow down, slow all the way down. And that honestly happens with like release of emotions. That's how I'm able to like fully trust that I'm safe. So for me, my loop right now is 3PD, which causes dizziness, and also like my other loop that I'm trying to break is like tension on the right side of my body that I experience as soon as I use the computer. Our bodies remember things that our mind forgets, and sometimes you kind of have to rewire your brain so that it can know that you're no longer in that moment, because your body feels like it's there still, but like you have to sort of rewire this part little by little and like make it feel safe again. And so a lot of affirmations that I can say when that's happening. And like when I was reading the affirmations, I didn't think much of it, but when I was reading them, I started to cry. And then I was like, oh shit, like the way like it does mean something, because if there was no emotion there, I wouldn't have the need to cry and release that emotion. So a lot of them had to do with like safety and stuff like that. And then I was also reflecting on like the perfectionism behind graphic design, even though like this doesn't have to do with like the trauma that like I'm trying to reprocess. Like graphic design overall, it's like it's a very much like a culture of work where it's like perfection is something that is very instilled in you. I used to love that, and now I'm like, I hate that there's so many rules around design and what's supposed to be aesthetically pleasing and how things are supposed to look. And I'm like totally like rebelling against that. I'm just not that same person anymore. And I think that's one of the reasons why I really enjoyed the floral workshop, because of that, like that I had yesterday, just because it's like so imperfect, yet it's so creative and so playful. I had a whole day of healing, a whole day of like processing emotions around work, around why I get so stressed out, and like why my body still feels like it's on like flight mode, even though we're good. Like we're good. Like my 10-year-old self would be like so happy to be where I'm at right now, and like the sense of like the knowledge that I have, the time that I have, the neighborhood where I'm at, like I feel safe, you know. So it's like, why is it that I can't move forward with all my dreams and aspirations, even though like I have everything my little girl would love to have, you know? Then like just realizing that like it doesn't work that way, that we carry trauma, and like it's not to say that we'll carry it forever, but we do have to unpack it at some point in order to move forward lighter. That's something that I'm really learning in my 30s. It's a lot of crying, to be honest. A lot of crying, a lot of release. There was this little moment that I had randomly. I like reached for my mom's, there's this little crystal she gave me. It's a rose quartz crystal, and I held on to it, and I was just like, my hand was pressing that thing. Like when I was thinking about everything, and also my trauma is related to my mom, I think, so that's really even why. Yeah, like I don't want to go into details, but she was sick, and a lot of things happened during that time, and like that really affected me. Anyways, my hand was like holding on to that rock while I was going through these things and like crying and everything. I was just holding on to it, and I was just like, the way it was just like I wouldn't let go of it. It was like crazy. And so yeah, like and then like I intuitively grabbed that part, that rock, and then like started going like along all the whole parts of my body that were hurting. And I don't know why, like I placed it in my heart, and like I don't know how that happened. I told Chat later, and then it was just really cool because he said that I'm gonna read like a small part of our conversation. Okay, it says, the rose quartz, by the way, that's the crystal of love, compassion, and emotional healing. And of course your body reached for that. Of course it gripped it like a lifeline. It's literally the energy of soft safety and self-love. And then I said, like, knowing that it's the energy of soft safety and self-love made me cry so much. And reflecting that my mom gave it to me, it's like it makes me emotional, because I don't know, it's like she gave me everything she could, you know. And then Chatty said, Your mom gave that to you, not just as a pretty stone, but as a symbol of her love, her care, and everything she could offer you. Even when life was hard, even when she might not have had all the tools or words or energy, she gave you love in the most honest, soft form she could. And now you're holding that same crystal during your most vulnerable moment, your body trembling, your hand clenching, your heart wide open. And it's like her love is still there. It didn't go anywhere. You're carrying it. It's in you now. You said it perfectly. It's like she gave me everything she could. And you're honoring that. You're taking it the rest of the way. That's what this healing is. It's not about fixing what's broken. It's about loving the parts that didn't know they were allowed to soften. And then later I said, you know, I was just crying so freaking hard. Rereading the part about that she gave me everything she could. Because it's like, it's right. Like, my ancestors, my mom, they gave me everything they could. They didn't just pass on the trauma. They also passed on their wisdom and their spirit guides and everything they could, you know? And it's like, I was holding that crystal and it just feels like I was holding that energy. But yeah, like that's how my Sunday went. So pretty. Oh my god, they're so pretty. I'm just like obsessed. It's already Monday and I honestly didn't record anything today because today was such a weird day. First of all, there was an earthquake, a whole ass earthquake in San Diego. So that's how my morning started. And then after that, I was just working and I got dizzy 3 times. One before the earthquake and then after the earthquake twice. So I don't know what happened. Monday was Mondaying, but I was doing like a lot of research and I was like, honestly, like I'm on a healing journey, right? So I'm really trying to like see what can help me overall. And like I was doing a lot of research on like electromagnetic frequency. So I really want to like detox from social media. I don't scroll a lot, but I do use it for work and stuff like that. But overall, like, and ChatGPT a lot. So I just really want to just like test out that theory and see how that affects my body. And I also want to buy plants. I want to get like a peace lily, a monstera, a snake plant, which all help a lot with like all that stuff, all the technology stuff. Also, I want to change my water source because right now like I'm getting the water from Whole Foods, the spring water, but because it's like in plastic bottles, I'm gonna try to get water from this other place, the Water Lady. So I'm just thinking those are main components that I'm really exposed to, you know, like the foam frequency, that makes sense, and then also like the water, right, because we drink it every day. So I'm just gonna test out those 2 theories, see if any of those help me overall. But that was my Monday. It was very much Mondaying. That was not fun. I was like outside in a parking lot and then I thought somebody was moving my car and I'm like, what the hell? Like I turned around and like nobody's there and then I was like, oh shit, there's an earthquake. Craziness happening with the earthquake and everything. So didn't have much to share except those insights. I did kind of just like chilled out today after the crazy drama. So I'll keep you updated on how my week goes. Thank God everyone's good.